The first one, when I found it, I thought of my very good friend, Mahendrabai. And so I'm glad he's here, because the first excerpt is dedicated to you. I guarantee you're going to love it. Om pavitra pavitro va, sarva avastangatopi va, yat smaret pundarik akshang, sabaya abhyantara suchihi. Please repeat. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu,
Shri Vishnu.
Om Jnana Timirandasya, Jnana Anjana Shalakaya, Chakshu Unmilitam Yena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangum Langhayate Girim, Yat Kripa Tamahang Bandi, Sigurun Dinataranam, Yat Kripa Tamahang Bandi, Parama Ananda Madhavam, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swamin Iti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharane, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarane, Trinadapi Sunichena, Torar Iva Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari, Harinama, Harinama, Harinam Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Katiranyata. Everyone repeat. Om Tat Sat. So, my first excerpt is in glorification of our very new Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities. And I had read this purport in Prabhupada's book several times, but I had forgotten about it. So recently, I stumbled upon it, and as soon as I saw it, I said, I'm waiting for when Mahendrabai is there.
Yes.
So listen, this is, Lord Chaitanya is touring South India. And in one of the purports, this is great. Prabhupada writes, in the book known as Adhyatma Ramayana, there are statements in chapters 12 to 15 about worshiping deities of Sri Ramachandra and Sita. There it is stated that during the time of Lord Ramachandra, there was a Brahmana who took a vow to fast until he saw Lord Ram. However, sometimes due to business, Lord Ram was absent from his capital for a full week and could not be seen by the citizens during that time. Because of his vow, the Brahmana would not take even a drop of water during the whole week. Later, after 8 or 9 days, when the Brahmana could actually see Lord Ram personally, then the Brahmana would break his fast. Upon observing the Brahmana's rigid vow, Lord Sri Ramachandra ordered his younger brother, Lakshman, to deliver a pair of Sitaram deities to the Brahmana. So this right here is significant. Lord Ram appeared in Treta Yuga. That's thousands and thousands of years ago. And deity worship is not some new invention. Thus the Brahmana received the deities from Sri Lakshmanji and worshipped them faithfully as long as he lived. Now here's when it's going to get interesting. At the time of his death, the Brahmana delivered the deities to Sri Hanumanji, who for many years hung them around his neck and served them with all devotion. after many years, when Hanumanji departed on the hill known as Gandhamadana, Hanumanji delivered the deities to a particular Pandava. Do you know which Pandava? Bhima. Bhimasena. And Bhimasena brought them to his palace, where Bhima kept them very carefully. The last king of the Pandavas, whose name was Kshemakanta, worshipped those deities in that palace. Later, the same deities were kept in the custody of the kings of Orisha, known as Gajapatis. And one of the acharyas, known as Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhva Acharya, received these deities from the king of Orissa. It may be noted that these particular deities of Ram and Sita have been worshipped from the time of King Ikshvaku. We know this Ikshvaku, that's in the first verse of the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna talks about how he originally spoke the Gita to who? Yes, the sun god Suryadev. And Ikshvaku is named as a descendant because this is the Surya Vangsha. Indeed, they were worshipped by the royal princes even before the appearance of Lord Ram. Later, during the time of Lord Ram, the deities were worshipped by Lakshman. It is said that just 3 months before his disappearance, Sri Madhva Acharya received these deities and installed them in the Udupi temple. Since then, the deities have been worshipped by the Madhva Acharya Sampradaya at that monastery. So, if you have the opportunity, visit Udupi and see these ancient deities. And as far as the Sri Vaishnavas are concerned, beginning with Ramanuja Acharya, they also worship deities of Sitaram. Sitaram deities are also being worshipped in Tirupati and other places. From the Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya, there is another branch known as Ramanandi or Ramat, and the followers of that branch also worship deities of Sitaram very rigidly. The Ramanuja Sampradaya, Vaishnavas, prefer the worship of Lord Ram to that of Radha Krishna. So this was all from, originally is from the Adhyatma Ramayana. So what is the Adhyatma Ramayana? It is a text spoken by Lord Shiva to his wife Parvati. And in that text, which is from the Brahmanda Purana, Lord Shiva elucidated some of the spiritual understandings of Valmiki's original Ramayana. What do you think, Mahendra? Satisfied?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This gives me so much faith and so much encouragement that we're not doing something concocted. We are doing something that's been going on for millions of years. Okay, everybody. So tomorrow we're doing the Tulsi Vivaha. So I'd like to say a little bit. Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha. Follow. Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Hey Abhitashi Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Hey Abhitashi Ye Tomara Sharana Lord Tara Vancha Purna Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namaha. Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo. Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Avi Ashi. Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadikani cha.
Yani kani cha papani brahma hatyadikani cha.
Tani tani pranasyanti pradakshina pade pade.
Yani jani pranashyanti pradakshina pade pade.
Govinda jaya jaya Gopala jaya jaya.
Govinda jaya jaya Gopala jaya jaya.
RadhaRaman Hari Govinda jaya jaya.
RadhaRaman Hari Govinda jaya jaya.
Govinda jaya jaya Gopala jaya jaya.
Govinda jaya jaya Gopala jaya jaya.
RadhaRaman Hari Govinda jaya jaya.
RadhaRaman Hari Govinda jaya
Jaya
jaya.
Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi.
Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi.
O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has their wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy upon someone, you make that person a resident of Vrindavan. So my desire is that you will also give me a residence in the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braja. Now here comes my personal favorite line of this whole song. Please give me the privilege of devotional service. Notice the word privilege. It is Krishna's instruction in Gita several times. You want to see me? Devotional service. You want to know and understand me? Devotional service. You want to come back to me? Devotional service. On this point, there is no options. If you want this Krishna, Radha Shyama Sundara, it has to be Bhakti Yoga. Please give me the privilege. So we have to beg for it. We can't just think it's some odd. No, it's not something, it's very special. It's actually confidential to be engaged in devotional service. So that's why privilege. And make me your own maidservant, this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays. So notice, here is the Vaishnava mentality. Low, meek, I'm fallen. Not that, here I am, Krishna. No, that's not the attitude of a bhakta. My Lord, I am fallen. I am low. Even Lord Chaitanya said, Patitanam, in the 5th Shastakam, Ainanda tunujikin karang patitang me vishame bhavam buddha. Kripayata vapada pankaja stita duli sadrishang vichintiya. So he even says, Patita, I am fallen. This is Lord Chaitanya praying in the mood of Radharani. I'm fallen. Kindly consider me an atomic particle of dust at your lotus feet. That's Trinadapi Sunichena. When a person circumambulates Srimati Tulsi Devi, all of the sins one may have committed are destroyed at every step, even the sin of killing a Brahman. So, tomorrow you are celebrating Tulsi Vivaha. I don't know if anybody's going to speak on the topic, but at the end of the whole Tulsi narration, how Tulsi is cursed and takes birth on earth, and there's a whole series of events, and she's tricked by Krishna, and ultimately they join. Once in the presence of Lord Hari, the dignified Saraswati quarreled with Tulsi and hurt her feelings. Being humiliated and insulted, Tulsi disappeared. Then, out of anger, the wise and adept Tulsi became invisible even to Lord Hari. So when Lord Hari did not see Tulsi, he appeased Saraswati and, obtaining her permission, proceeded to the Tulsi forest of Vrindavan. Because Lord Hari was very much disturbed by separation from Tulsi. There, Lord Hari took a bath. Then, with proper rites, Hari worshipped the chaste Tulsi with his whole heart. And then, Lord Hari meditated on Tulsi with devotion and uttered obeisances to Tulsi Devi, Queen of Vrindavan Forest. During the worship, Tulsi was offered a lighted ghee lamp, frankincense, sandal flowers, and sacrificial offerings. Anyone who worships Tulsi in this way will achieve complete perfection. Lord Krishna then began to praise his glorious devotee. So now we're going to hear 8 different names of Tulsi. So the first one, everybody say, Vrinda Devi. The Tulsi trees collect in many groups. Thus the Pandits call her Vrinda. Everybody say, I praise that dear Vrinda Devi. Number 2. Long ago, Tulsi appeared in the Vrindavan forest, and thus she is known as Vrindavani. I adore that auspicious and glorious Vrindavani. Number 3. Tulsi is always worshipped in countless universes, and so she is known as Vishva Pujita. One who is worshipped throughout the world. I worship that Vishva Pujita. Number 4. Countless universes are made pure and holy by her contact. Tulsi is therefore called Vishvapavani, one who purifies the whole universe. Remembering her, Krishna says, I am suffering from separation from Tulsi. So this is coming, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, coming directly from Krishna's own mouth. Number 5. Though other flowers be heaped upon the demigods, they are not satisfied unless Tulsi is offered. Thus, Tulsi is considered the essence of all flowers and is called Pushpasara. I am now anguished and troubled and very eager to see Pushpasara, who is purity incarnate. I crave the favor of that goddess. Number 6. Because attainment of her brings faith and joy, Tulsi is called Nandini. Oh, may Nandini be pleased with me. Number 7. In the whole world, she is incomparable. Thus, she is called Tulsi. I take refuge of that dear Tulsi. Finally, number 8. Being very chaste and dear, she is the life of Krishna, and so she is known as Krishna Jivani. Oh, may that goddess save my life. This is Krishna speaking. After Lord Hari finished the ceremony and prayers, Tulsi was pleased and came out of a tree. Immediately she took refuge at Lord Hari's lotus feet. Krishna then blessed Tulsi by saying, O Tulsi, you will be worshipped by all throughout the 3 worlds. O dearest, I will hold you on my head and in my heart, and all the demigods will also hold you on their heads. When Lord Hari saw that the dignified Tulsi was weeping because her feelings had been hurt by Saraswati, Krishna took Tulsi to his chest. Then Krishna took Tulsi to Saraswati and reconciled their differences. Then Krishna blessed Tulsi by saying, you will be worshipped by all, you will be honored by all, and you will be respected by all, and all will carry you on their heads. And I myself also will worship, honor, and respect you, and also carry you on my head. Tulsi was now very happy. Saraswati then embraced Tulsi and seated her by her side. Lakshmi and Ganga, now smiling, also hugged her and then took Tulsi home. Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Kesavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Was that yes, Prabhu? I want to speak about Damodar Leela, which we finished. But I didn't give a proper class, so with your permission, I'd like to glorify Lord Damodar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, I think last year or so, I went and I looked at all the synonyms of the Damodarashtaka prayer, and I made my own translation. So I'd like to share that with you, and you can critique as you see fit, and I will take your suggestions on my head. I bow down to the Supreme Controller. So who's that? Krishna. Very good. Whose form is composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Whose earrings play and swing, and who is splendorously manifest in Gokula, but who is in fear of his mother, Yashoda Devi. And so he gets down from the wooden rice-grinding mortar and runs away. However, that Gopi, Sri Yashoda, very much quickly chasing after him, finally catches him from the back. So far, so good? Number 2, crying again and again with very fearful eyes, rubbing those 2 eyes with his 2 lotus-like hands again and again, Krishna is quickly breathing, sighing, and also trembling, while the pearl necklaces and other ornaments, which are situated on his neck, also slightly move, and that neck is marked with 3 lines just like a conch shell. And so I offer humble obeisances unto Lord Damodara, everybody say, Damodara, who has a rope tied around his belly, but actually he is bound only by devotion. Because in the song, the words come, Bhakti Badham. Those who know the pastime, Yashoda brought rope to tie up Krishna, but it was always 2 fingers too short. She added more rope. She added all the rope in the house, but at the end, it was still 2 fingers too short. And so practically she gave up out of frustration. And by this time, all the neighbors had come and they're smiling and laughing. They can see what's going on here. And so when Krishna sees that Yashoda now is totally flabbergasted, then he allows himself to be tied up. So this pastime teaches us this spiritual life is not a mechanical process. We cannot say to Krishna, I chanted so many rounds, I distributed so many books, I gave so much money to the temple. You cannot bargain with Krishna. He is, what's the word in the Bhagavatam? Swarat. Completely independent. And Prabhupada even mentions this in the 1st canto. It's not that this is karma kanda, where you worship a devata and they give you the benediction. That's not how Krishna rolls. Krishna is looking for someone like Yashoda who loves him unrestrictedly, or someone like Radha and the gopis we heard about last Sunday. The reason why Krishna agreed to return to the gopis the night of the rasa dance, because he saw that even after he had left them, they did not leave him. They stayed in Vrindavan. They stayed on the bank of the Yamuna and did a Namahat program and sang their Gopi Gita. Tavakatamritam Tapta Jivanam. Finish it. Loudly. Jai. Very good. So Krishna said, the only reason I returned is because of your steadfast devotion for me. Normally, if somebody breaks the relationship, you don't come begging back, oh, please, please. No. Modern day, it's like, oh, forget you, man. There's too many fish in the sea. But not the gopis. Even though Krishna left them, they stayed. And they were begging Krishna, please return, please return. And when Krishna did return, he said, your devotion for me is at such a level, I cannot repay you even within a lifetime of Brahma, which is millions of years, earth calculation. Now we all know in Bhagavad Gita that famous verse in chapter 4, Ye yatang mang prapadyante tangstataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya parata sarvashaha. Krishna says, as you surrender, I reciprocate. The gopis don't have that verse in their Gita. Because Krishna himself said, I can't repay you. He said, you'll just have to be happy with your own exalted character. So because the gopis have this unflinching, unalloyed, pure love for Krishna, that was the only reason he returned. And the rasa dance then was resumed and completed. So Krishna is only bound by our devotion. Verse number 3. Displaying his childhood pastimes, such as this Damodara Leela and others, in this way immersing his own family and all the other residents of Gokula in a pool of bliss by these pastimes. And to those desirous of knowing his majesty, Damodar makes it known his quality of being conquered only by his loving devotees who are devoid of such Aishvarya Jnana. And so again, with love and devotion, hundreds and hundreds of times I praise that Lord Damodar. So Prabhupada speaks about this, Lord Chaitanya speaks about this. The residents of Vrindavan do not think of Krishna as God. The resident, if you study the Bhagavatam, the residents of Vrindavan worship Narayan as God. They don't worship Krishna as God like we do. But at the same time, they love Krishna more than even themselves. That's the trademark of Vrindavan. What is Vrindavan? It's that place where everyone and everything simply loves Krishna. One time, Prabhupada was speaking on that song we sang, Jaya Radha Madhava. And Prabhupada said, and it's so nice, he said, the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement is to become one of the Gopi Jana. Wow. We can become and we sang the Tulsi song. We were asking Tulsi, please make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braja. We're still humble. We want to be servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. 100 times down, that's more glorious. So, in Vrindavan, this conception, Aishvarya Gyan, conception of the majesty of God. Like here in the temple, it's majestic. The arti is performed very regally. We're worshiping God as King of Kings. And in Vaikuntha, the worship of Narayan goes on very, very nicely, strictly, with rules and regulations. Those who do serious deity worship, there's lots of rules and regulations and samskars and mudras and so many things you have to do to worship. So that's worshiping God in opulence. But to go to Vrindavan, you don't worship God, you play with Him. And in the case of the gopis, you dance with Him. It's a whole different concept. Number 4. O Lord, I do not pray for the boon of moksha. Wow. Either as in personal liberation, or even the highest pinnacle of liberation, entering the realm of Sri Vaikuntha Loka. So he doesn't even want salvation. We all know in Hinduism, Dharma, Artha, the goal is moksha, liberation. But the author of this song says, I don't want liberation. Nor do I want anything else from you. Yes, I know you can bestow any boon. O Lord, May this divine bodily form of yours as a young cowherder boy here in Vrindavan. Everybody say, Bala Gopal. May this divine form, may it be ever manifest in my heart. What is the use of other things? This is the high standard of bhakti. Doesn't want anything. I just always want to have this vision of Bala Gopal. O Lord, your lotus-like face, surrounded by curling locks of hair, which are very dark blue, soft and glossy, and tinted reddish. Now, me personally, I like this. Detailed information about the Supreme Lord. Where else are you going to find this information? It wasn't in the Bible that I was brought up on. They don't have such detailed information. But when you come to Krishna consciousness, when you come to Bhakti Marg or Pushti Marg, now you get details. There is a name of Krishna. Everybody say Keshava. It has three meanings. One meaning, of course, Krishna killed the horse demon, Keshi. Another meaning, Kaisha, that Krishna is the controller of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. That's another name for Keshava. But here is the confidential. Keshava, he has very soft, glossy hair. We even know the tint. And you can't get this at the grocery store or no. Sri RadhaRaman Bhagavan ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Dark blue and tinted red. Can't wait to see, right? You would like to now see this. And your hair is kissed again and again by the Gopi Sri Yashoda. That's why when Shukadeva Goswami talks about this pastime in the 10th canto, it's a short chapter, not very long, and at the end, Shukadeva tells Parikshit, Yashoda has what we call Vimukti, special liberation. And Shukadeva says her position is more exalted than Lord Brahma, more exalted than Lord Shiva, more exalted than Lakshmi. And Shukadeva says also, who is the better half of Vishnu? Lakshmi is the better half. So Shukadeva says, no, Yashoda has special benediction. Here's one of them. She gets to kiss Krishna's hair. And in this pastime, gets to tie him up. And gets to show the stick. And gets to feed him her own milk. This is special. And now, we sang, make me a resident of the followers of the cowherd damsels of Braja. But you cannot become Yashoda. No. No applications being accepted. Yashoda is Yashoda eternally. You can become Lord Brahma. That you can become. Just like you can become President of the United States, if you're that foolish to go after it. But you can become. You got lots of money and you lie and cheat and all that stuff. And fix the vote, whatever, you know it. Okay? You can become. You can become Lord Brahma. You can become Indra. But of course, these are temporary positions. Even Lord Brahma's position is temporary. Like we say, there was a show, Queen for a Day. It was a silly show my mother used to watch. An ordinary woman, she would tell her sob story and they would put a crown on her and give her all kinds of gifts. And it was called Queen for a Day. But after the show, goodbye. So you can become a follower of Yashoda. You can become a servant of, like I have read, when they make Krishna's breakfast in the morning, all the gopis are there in Yashoda's kitchen, and Yashoda is giving instructions. Dinishta, you do this, you do this. And of course, who else is in the kitchen? Radhaji. And she makes, and Yashoda specifically tells one of the gopis, go to Radharani's house and ask her mother-in-law to let Radha come and cook Krishna's breakfast. Now, Radha's mother-in-law, Jatila, she does not like Krishna. She has very bad words to say about Krishna. So even though this gopi comes and says, Mother, please let your daughter-in-law come to Yashoda's house, she doesn't want Radha to go, but grandmother Purnamasi warned Jatila, hey, look, if you don't do what Yashoda says, you will lose everything for your son and subsequently you. So if you want to live nicely, you do what Purnamasi says. And Purnamasi told her, whatever Yashoda says, you do it. So every morning, the gopi comes, Radharani comes to the kitchen of Yashoda, and she helps to make Krishna's breakfast. Now it continues. O Krishna, your lips are as cherry red as is the bimba fruit, and so in my heart may all of this be manifest, because there is no need for me to request the attainment of millions of other boons which are simply useless. In the Western world, they have that genie in the lamp, that if you rub the lamp, then the genie comes out. You get 3 wishes. But nobody ever asks the genie, can I get 3 more wishes? But even if this was the case, the author of this song is saying, I don't want even millions of boons. Now the next verse is Sankirtan. Everybody say, Deva, O Divine Lord, be pleased. Next word, Damodara, O you whose belly is tied with a rope. Ananta, O limitless Lord. Vishnu, O all-pervading Lord. Prabhu, my master, please, please, I bow down to you. But alas, I am immersed in a network of miseries, and I am in this material ocean of repeated birth and death. So please accept me and rain down your merciful glance upon this very fallen and ignorant fool. Again, humility, meekness. O supremely independent Lord, please become perceptible to my eyes. Just like during the time of the Rath Yatra, Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu Me, because the deity is absent from the temple for 2 weeks, and the devotees naturally are feeling separation. So they sing this song, kindly be visible. Now, in this song, 2 pastimes are linked together, because after the Damodar Leela, after Yashoda ties up Krishna and Yashoda is thinking, now I can do my housework, which indicates even if you're the mother of God, you still have to work. Not that I'm the mother of God, I sit back and watch TV all day. No, even the mother of God has to do so much housework. So Krishna is now tied up to the grinding mortar, and he looks across into the courtyard, and he sees two trees. Now, even though Krishna is 3 or 4 years old, he's still the Supreme Lord. He's still Abhigya, all-knowing. He knows, oh, those two trees. My devotee Narada wants me to deliver them because those two trees are twin sons of Kuvera. Now, Krishna is thinking, but I got nothing to do with these two. But because Narada wants me to, I will deliver them. Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna, another name, Bhakta Vatsala. He reciprocates and acts for the benefit of his devotee. And so when Krishna delivers Nalakuvara and Manigriva by pulling the wooden grinding mortar between the two trees, and the trees come crashing down, and out come the two demigod sons of Kuvera, shining with their demigod clothes and crowns. They offer beautiful prayers. Now, they were cursed to be trees for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And while they were cursed, they remembered why they were cursed. They had been naughty. They had been indecent. They had been rascals in the garden, the Nandakanana gardens. They had done offenses. So Narada cursed them, but not out of envy, no. The curse turned out to be a benediction. Narada predicted, you will take birth as trees, but in this courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and Krishna will deliver you. And Krishna told Nalakuvara and Manigriva, it is very fortunate that you met my devotee Narada. See how nice Krishna is. Krishna is not saying, I'm God. You should be grateful that I'm seeing you. No. He gives all credit to Narada. And he said, Narada is like the shining sun. And for those of us who got the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada's early disciples were all Nalakuvara and Manigriva 1,000 times over. We were much more degraded than Nalakuvara and Manigriva. I know I was. But because we came in contact with the shining, glowing Srila Prabhupada, now look where we are now. Hari Bol. Final verse. Obeisances unto you, Damodar. Obeisances unto the rope tied around your waist. So by this time, the poet is in ecstasy. He's mad. He's paying obeisances to the rope. Obeisances to your splendorously effulgent abode, Goloka Vrindavan Dham. Obeisances to your splendorous belly, which is the shelter of the entire universe, because Mahavishnu generates Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and from Garbhodakashayi Vishnu comes a golden lotus, and out there comes Lord Brahma, the Son of God. There's a religion, they're very proud. We worship the Son of God. And so I tell them, yes, God has many sons. And in the Bhagavatam we see so many sons of God. So please excuse me, you don't have a monopoly on the Son of God. Because we got plenty. Lord, there, and look, Krishna had 10 sons by each wife, and he only had 16,108. And each of those sons had 10 sons. And besides the 10 sons by each wife, he had one daughter also by each wife. So Krishna's Yadu Vangsha was very expansive. Obeisances unto Sri Radhika. Everybody say, Sri Radhika, your most beloved. So the author knows Tattva. Krishna Kumar was chanting one shloka. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. Yes, Hari Priye. Of all, and the gopis also certified this, the night of the Rasa dance. Because Krishna was dancing with all the gopis became a little proud. Oh, we are dancing with Krishna, we're so fortunate. And Krishna said, aha, my gopis have become a little proud. Krishna disappeared. But when he disappeared, he went with Radha. So when all the gopis saw that Krishna went deeper into the forest with Radha, they said, that gopi must have worshipped Krishna better than all of us. Therefore the name Radha. Everybody say. Radha. So that's why the song says, your most beloved. Obeisances to your unlimited sportive pastimes. Yes. If you read the 10th canto, so many nice pastimes are there. Krishna as a young baby, as a young boy, as a youth, as a married man. 90 chapters in the 10th canto. Those 90 chapters are describing a verse in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyakva deham punar janma naiti mam eti sorjuna. Krishna says in chapter 4, if you understand in truth my birth and my activities, this is your last birth in the material world. Just see the benefit of reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Dashamaskanda. You dive deep into the 10th canto, this is your last birth. Now, maybe you want to come back again, I don't know. Me, I've learned my lesson. And as I get older, and as I watch the news, I look in the mirror, I go, no, I don't want to come back. I've had enough of this stinking, rotten material world. I want to go home back to Godhead. But I can't demand. I can only beg Krishna. Obeisances to your transcendental nature. Sat, Chit, Ananda, which was mentioned in the first verse. Krishna's form is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. I don't know about you, this form ain't full of bliss. Those of us who are getting older, you know what I'm talking about. Right? As we get older, yeah, you're a young whippersnapper. How old are you now? I'm looking at you, yeah. How old is he? 16. Oh, 16. You're the king of the world, right? So much energy. Let's rock and roll. Just wait. One day you'll wake up. I'm 40. Oh no, I've got gray hair. Oh no, I've lost all my teeth. That's what you have to look forward to. Birth, death, old age, and disease. So enjoy while you can, because it ain't gonna last. But it's Krishna's wake-up call. By giving us this material body, and as we get older, we suffer the pangs of old age and then disease, right? It's a wake-up call. Oh, I need to settle all accounts with the Corleone family. I need to rectify, and I need to surrender to Krishna. The final word in this song, obeisances unto you. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.